my mom probably is not going to be able to talk right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. But on behalf of all of us, I just wanted to thank you guys for coming. There's one thing the video didn't say at the end. He was also a grandfather. He really loved both me and my sister. And unfortunately, my sister wasn't able to be here today because she's in a full dress rehearsal for her senior musical. And the last thing that my grandfather would have wanted was for her to miss that, because she's got to sing, she's got to perform. So she's the lead, she's in charge of that show. So he understands that. But again, on behalf of all of us, just thank you. One little story that I can share is that one thing that didn't show is that he was very big into the theater. And when I was growing up, he would always take me to Les Mis, Joseph, all these others. He took me to Miss Saigon, and it was at the Pantages Theater. We were sitting up in the balcony, and halfway through the first act, I looked over to ask him a question, and he was fast asleep. He completely was gone. I asked him during the intermission, he goes, nah. I wasn't sleeping, I was just closing my eyes. Now I know where my mom gets it, I'm just resting my eyes. Don't talk to me, I'm resting my eyes. But he was very, very big into a lot of other things besides just eating. He was very into his family. I don't know how many people know, every Sunday we would go to the local Michelli's restaurant right by Universal. And one thing he really liked about that is that the waitresses sang. What was very interesting is that we weren't just customers there anymore. We came in and we were treated like these VIPs. I mean, he has his own little stool at the bar. He had, if you were here at the other memorial, you would know, there was a bottle of Jameson whiskey hidden just for him, so he can have his Irish coffees with whipped cream. Make sure we know that. And everybody came up and wanted to ask how he was doing. The waitresses we all became friends with the waitresses. He just was someone you wanted to sit down with. And one of the things, when he would, just recently, when we would sit down with him, he would tell us all these stories I don't think my mom and my aunt knew even. He tried to go to the Air Force, right? It was first the Air Force, and I think either him or his friend, one of them failed the math test. His friend failed the math test, so they weren't able to do that. Then they went to the Navy, and so they failed another test. So, or colorblind or something. So there was a bunch of different spots that he was trying to go. So his default, Merchant Marines, he was there. He wasn't going to stop. He wasn't going to let the government or anybody else stop them from fighting for what he believed. But again, thank you guys all for coming. We look forward to hearing many more stories. We know him as the family. He shares some of the Union stories, but definitely not from what everybody said. Thank you.
I could try to get through this story, but as a kid, being raised in New York, on Sacred Avenue, next door to the Baileys, my dad would often tell us that we needed to be involved in things. And he would take me more, because I was a little bit older. And there were times where my dad was out of work, and he would be on picket lines. And I would be in school, and he would take me to the picket lines. And a lot of the times, I was the only kid wandering around, and they were picketing, and I would really not know what was going on. I was 7, 8 years old. And he would hand me a sign, and the signs were bigger than I was, and I couldn't really carry them. But I knew that whatever we were doing was important. And whether I understood exactly what we were there for or why we were there, it didn't matter. My dad said, this is what we need to do, and it's important, and we're going to do it. And that's how I still feel, and that's how I raised both my children to feel. And I'll just tell you one quick little story. When he was 3 years old, it was the very first time that Martin Luther King's birthday was a national celebration, and school was off. And a friend of mine was singing at a celebration for the Martin Luther King at a gospel church. And I thought, well, this is the perfect way to introduce my son to a good man, and because it wasn't being taught at school yet. And so we go to this celebration, and it's just gorgeous, gorgeous gospel singing, and I'm explaining to him that Martin Luther King Jr. was a very good man, and he helped a lot of people, and it's his birthday, and the entire country is celebrating his birthday, and I was doing the right thing. This is the way my dad taught me, and I'm passing it down to my second generation, and we have this wonderful... I'm gonna sit it. Anyway, we're driving home, and I said to my son, "So what'd you think? Wasn't that fun?" He goes, "That was the worst birthday party we ever went to. They never sang happy birthday, and there was no cake."
To this day, I'm still waiting for my cake.
But just to carry it through the generations, is my father taught us right from wrong and how to handle how to make this country better in the right way for all the people. And I'm so proud to be his daughter.
I don't know what I need an actual microphone, but can you all hear me? Okay. First of all, on behalf of my sister, my niece, my nephew, my brother, and myself, John Gibson, David, this is amazing. This is wonderfully overwhelming in that I know that from the moment I called John and told him that my father had passed, I know he started thinking big and started doing, and everyone for coming out and taking me Sunday. And Mike coming from San Francisco, I mean, for everyone that's here today, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it is incredibly overwhelming. And I need to catch my breath. And thank you for your hard work and for everything that you did. In some cases, I'm sure most people didn't even know my father had children. I mean, you know. Okay, and he got daughters on top of that. And I was to me, Jeannie, we raised him pretty good. That it's true. I mean, my sister just reminded me of that story of being 7, 8 years old on a picket line where my father had her on his shoulders, and she said she kept dropping the sign. It was bigger than her. It was, myself and my best friend Shari, who've known each other since junior high. We were at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium during a Free Angela Davis rally. I had a broken leg and a cast, and Daddy's like, "You're going, I don't care." It was pouring rain, and we got tear gassed out of there. And there's my father. "Rick, come on, Daddy, I'm coming." And everyone was like crutches. Shari was already getting the car started, put the heat on it. He raised us, yes, to believe in family, believe in unity, believe in, it really doesn't matter, union, family, whatever. If you come together and you have a goal and you go towards it. Seeing all of this and hearing all these stories, the last couple of weeks I've been going to his house every day and going through things and finding things, and I found these booklets. If he told me I didn't know that he was the president and the editor of this Marine Historical Association and writing these articles and people writing back and for all the stories he told us. And, I would just say, Daddy's not a yes or no. It's like, you can't ask Daddy a question and it's a yes or no. Well, it was a partial yes, and by 57 it was kind of a no. So I'm reading through all this, and I must say that it's become even more embedded into me and bringing it home, as I say, that all of what mattered to him and everything that he stood for is more and more and more sinking in. And then seeing that video and hearing his voice, it's wonderful, it's overwhelming, and I thank you all.
And we'll cherish it.
Everything, really, it's thank you. See, the word seems so little compared to the enormity, but it means the world to Jeannie and I. It really does to all of us. And thank you so much. John, Dave, thank you. Everybody, really.
Thank you.
Thank you.